The desert night is alive. A symphony of sounds, both beautiful and terrifying, rise from the dust and dance beneath a canopy of stars. This is the land of the Navajo Nation, a place where ancient stories intertwine with the very fabric of reality. Here, amongst the canyons and mesas, whispers travel on the wind, whispers of something ancient and malevolent. The elders speak of a being known as the Skinwalker, a creature born of darkness and driven by an insatiable hunger. The Skinwalker is something far more sinister, a twisted abomination that walks the line between the human and the animal, between the natural and the supernatural. The origins of the Skinwalker are shrouded in mystery, lost to the mists of time and the shifting sands of the desert. Some say it is a curse, a punishment inflicted upon those who stray from the path of righteousness. The Navajo people, steeped in the traditions of their ancestors, treat the legend with a reverence born from centuries of experience. They understand that some stories are more than just tales. They are warnings, echoes of a time when the world was young and the lines between the physical and the spiritual were blurred. The Skinwalker, they say, is not a creature to be trifled with. The transformation into a Skinwalker is not something that is sought out. It is a fate worse than death, a perversion of the natural order. It is said that one who desires such power must first commit the most heinous of acts, to break the ultimate taboo and murder a blood relative. The Skinwalker is driven by an insatiable hunger, a thirst for power that can never be quenched. It craves the life force of others, feeding off their terror and despair. The legend of the Skinwalker, once confined to the hushed whispers of the Navajo elders, began to seep out from the reservation, carried on the winds of rumor and speculation. One location in particular became synonymous with the Skinwalker legend, a remote ranch in the heart of Utah known only as Skinwalker Ranch. It was a place where the veil between our world and the realm of the supernatural seemed to wear thin, a place where the laws of nature seemed to bend and break with alarming regularity. Reports of strange occurrences on the ranch had circulated for years, whispered amongst locals and dismissed as the ramblings of ranchers who had spent too long under the desert sun. Cattle were found mutilated, their bodies drained of blood and marked with strange symbols. The ranch, shrouded in mystery and steeped in a palpable sense of dread, became a magnet for paranormal investigators, ufologists, and those seeking to prove the existence of the creatures that haunted our nightmares. They came armed with cameras and sensors, with EMF readers and EVP recorders, determined to capture definitive proof of the supernatural activity that plagued the land. But the ranch, it seemed, guarded its secrets closely. Equipment malfunctioned with alarming regularity, batteries drained overnight, and cameras captured only fleeting glimpses of unexplained phenomena. Bigelow, intrigued by the Sherman's stories and sensing an opportunity to unravel the mysteries of Skinwalker Ranch, purchased the property in 1996. He established the National Institute for Discovery Science, a team of scientists and researchers tasked with studying the unexplained phenomena reported on the ranch. The NIDS team, equipped with state-of-the-art technology and a healthy dose of skepticism, embarked on a multi-year investigation of the ranch. They documented electromagnetic anomalies, unexplained animal mutilations, and strange lights in the sky that seemed to defy the laws of physics. Despite years of research and a mountain of anecdotal evidence, the true nature of Skinwalker Ranch remains elusive. The NIDS team, while unable to provide definitive answers, concluded that something inexplicable was happening on the property, something that warranted further investigation. In 2016, the ranch was sold once again, this time to a private owner who has chosen to remain anonymous. The legend of Skinwalker Ranch, much like the legend of the Skinwalker itself, continues to capture the imagination, blurring the lines between fact and fiction. The flickering light of a campfire cast long, dancing shadows across the dusty clearing, providing little comfort against the encroaching darkness that seemed to press in from all sides. A young man, his name was Thomas, sat hunched by the fire, his face etched with a mixture of fear and exhaustion. He had been driving for hours, trying to outrun the memory of what he had seen, of what he knew to be true. Thomas had been visiting his brother, Joseph, who lived in a small, isolated cabin nestled amongst the pines on the outskirts of the Navajo Nation. But on this night, the tranquility of the forest had been shattered, replaced by a primal terror that clawed at the edges of Thomas's sanity. He had arrived at his brother's cabin late, the setting sun painting the sky in hues of blood orange and bruised purple. As he reached for the doorknob, he heard it, a low, guttural growl emanating from the woods behind the cabin. Hesitantly, Thomas crept around the side of the cabin, his senses on high alert. The woods were deathly silent now, the only sound the pounding of his own blood in his ears. As he rounded the corner, he saw it. Standing in a patch of moonlight, its eyes glowing with an eerie yellow light, was a figure. It was tall and slender, its limbs elongated and contorted at an unnatural angle. Its skin was a patchwork of fur and shadow, as if it were in the midst of a gruesome transformation. And then it turned its head, and Thomas felt his blood run cold. It was his brother, or at least it wore his brother's face. But those eyes were wrong. They were filled with a cold, calculating intelligence that chilled Thomas to the bone. The creature smiled, a slow, predatory grin that revealed a mouthful of razor-sharp teeth. The creature's laughter grew louder, closer. Just when Thomas felt his strength failing, just when he thought he could run no more, he burst out of the tree line into a small clearing. In the center, bathed in the pale light of the moon, was an old, abandoned church. Its wooden walls were weathered and grey, the stained glass windows long since shattered. Without hesitation, Thomas scrambled towards the church, his breath rasping in his chest. He fumbled with the rusted handle, throwing his weight against the heavy oak door. It creaked open, revealing a dust-filled sanctuary. Moonlight streamed through the broken windows, illuminating rows of empty pews and a crumbling altar. As Thomas caught his breath, he noticed something strange. Scratched into the stone wall beside him, almost invisible beneath a layer of dust and grime, was a symbol. It was a spiral, its lines twisting and turning upon themselves, ending in a single piercing point. He recognized it from his brother's research, from the books he had seen him poring over late at night. It was a Navajo symbol, a warning, and beneath it, scrawled in what he recognized with a growing sense of dread as his brother's handwriting, were two words: "Don't trust it." A cold wave of understanding washed over Thomas. His brother hadn't been taken, not in the traditional sense. He had been replaced, his form stolen, his very essence consumed by something evil. And the creature that now wore his face, the creature that hunted him through the night, was not his brother. It was something far more ancient, far more sinister. It was a monster wearing a human mask. As the truth sank in, a fresh wave of terror washed over Thomas. He was trapped, alone in the darkness, hunted by a creature that could mimic his brother's every move, every word. He had to escape, had to find help, but who would believe him? Who would believe that the man he loved, the man he called brother, was gone, replaced by something monstrous, something that lurked in the shadows, waiting to claim its next victim? He knew then that his life would never be the same. He had looked into the abyss, had seen the darkness that lay at the heart of the world, and the darkness had looked back. The realm of the supernatural, a place where ancient legends and modern anxieties collide, has always held a strange allure. For centuries, we have gathered around flickering campfires, sharing tales of creatures that lurk in the shadows, of entities that defy the laws of nature and challenge our understanding of the world. The Skinwalker, born from the rich tapestry of Navajo tradition, stands as a chilling example of this enduring fascination with the unknown. For many, the Skinwalker remains firmly entrenched in the realm of myth and folklore, a cautionary tale spun to instill fear and enforce societal norms. The scientific mind, driven by logic and empirical evidence, struggles to reconcile the existence of such a creature with the rational order of the universe. And yet, the stories persist, whispered from generation to generation, fueled by anecdotal accounts and a lingering sense that some things cannot be explained away by science alone. Could there be a scientific basis for the Skinwalker legend? Could this seemingly supernatural entity be explained through the lens of modern science? Some researchers, intrigued by the persistent reports of strange phenomena associated with skinwalkers, have begun to explore the possibility that the answer may lie in the unexplored frontiers of quantum physics, genetics, and even extraterrestrial biology. Quantum physics, a realm of science that often reads like science fiction, explores the strange and counterintuitive behavior of matter and energy at the subatomic level. One of the most mind-bending concepts to emerge from this field is the idea of parallel universes or alternate dimensions, realms that exist alongside our own, perhaps even brushing up against ours in ways we are only beginning to comprehend. Could the Skinwalker, with its ability to seemingly shift shape, teleport and defy the laws of physics, be a visitor from one of these other realms? Some theorists propose that these creatures might be interdimensional beings capable of slipping through the cracks in our reality, manifesting in our world in ways that defy our understanding of time, space, and form. The concept of interdimensional travel, while still firmly in the realm of speculation, is not entirely dismissed by modern physics. The existence of extra dimensions, curled up and hidden from our perception, is a key component of string theory, one of the leading contenders for a unified theory of everything. If these extra dimensions do exist, and if they are accessible, it is not inconceivable that entities from these realms could be interacting with our own, perhaps even influencing our world in ways we are only beginning to grasp. The desolate landscape of the American Southwest, with its vast deserts, imposing canyons and history shrouded in mystery, has long been a hotbed of UFO sightings and reports of strange phenomena. Some believe that this is no coincidence, suggesting that these remote areas may be home to secret government facilities hidden from public view, where experiments of a highly classified and potentially dangerous nature are being conducted. Could the Skinwalker be a product of such clandestine experiments? Some conspiracy theorists propose that these creatures might be the result of genetic manipulation gone wrong, perhaps the unintended consequence of attempts to create super soldiers or to harness the power of the unknown for military gain. While evidence for such claims remains largely circumstantial, the possibility of secret government experiments is not entirely implausible. History is rife with examples of governments conducting unethical and often horrifying experiments on unwitting subjects, often in the name of national security or scientific progress. The Tuskegee syphilis study and the MK-Ultra program stand as chilling reminders of the potential for abuse when the pursuit of knowledge is not tempered by ethical considerations. In the face of such profound mysteries, the human mind instinctively seeks answers, striving to impose order on the chaos and to find meaning in the unknown. But what if some questions are simply beyond our current understanding? What if the Skinwalker, with its blend of the familiar and the utterly alien, represents a facet of reality that lies beyond the grasp of our current scientific paradigms? Perhaps the most unsettling possibility is not that the Skinwalker can be explained by science, but that it cannot. Perhaps this creature, with its roots in ancient tradition and its presence felt in the modern world, represents a realm of existence that we are simply not equipped to comprehend. A realm where the laws of nature as we understand them break down, and the very fabric of reality becomes fluid and uncertain. The legend of the Skinwalker, regardless of its origins, serves as a potent reminder of the vastness of the unknown and the limits of human understanding. It challenges us to confront the possibility that our reality is but one of many, that the universe is far stranger and more wondrous than we can possibly imagine. And it reminds us that some mysteries perhaps are best left unexplored. The desert night, once a canvas of celestial wonder, now presses down with a suffocating weight. The silence, once peaceful and serene, is now thick with unspoken menace, every rustle of wind a whispered threat. The legend of the Skinwalker, once a chilling tale spun around campfires, now clings to you like a shroud, a chilling reminder that some stories have a way of seeping into the marrow of your bones. You've journeyed with us from the heart of Navajo tradition, through the unsettling corridors of Skinwalker Ranch, and into the very laboratories where science grapples with the inexplicable. You've heard the chilling testimonies of those who claim to have encountered these creatures, felt their terror claw at the edges of your own sanity. The question is no longer, could these creatures be real? The question now becomes, what if they are? The very air seems different now, charged with an unseen energy. You find yourself scanning the shadows, questioning every flicker of movement, every whisper on the wind. The world, once familiar and comforting, now seems poised on the precipice of something dark and unknowable. But even in the face of such primal fear, there is a flicker of hope, a glimmer of defiance. The Navajo people for centuries have not only coexisted with these legends, but have also developed traditions, rituals and safeguards to navigate the treacherous landscape of the supernatural. Their stories, passed down through generations, offer not only warnings but also glimpses of resilience, of a people determined to maintain their connection to the spiritual world, even in the face of unimaginable terror. While the scientific community grapples with the possibility of interdimensional beings and the implications of genetic manipulation, the Navajo offer a different perspective, one rooted in the ancient understanding of the interconnectedness of all things. They speak of a balance that must be maintained, of respect for the natural order, and of the consequences of straying too far from the path of harmony. Their stories remind us that we are not alone in our fear, that humanity has always grappled with the unknown, and that within these ancient traditions lie not only warnings but also the potential for understanding, for coexistence, and perhaps even for protection. The Navajo speak of certain safeguards, tools of protection passed down through generations, whispered from shaman to apprentice, from parent to child. These are not magic spells or incantations found in dusty grimoires. They are practical measures rooted in an intimate understanding of the land and the creatures that inhabit it, both seen and unseen. Salt, with its ability to purify and ward off negative energy, is said to create a barrier against malevolent entities. Scattered across thresholds, sprinkled around campsites, it forms a line of defense, a tangible reminder of the unseen forces at play. Ash, a residue of fire, the element that represents transformation and purification, is believed to possess similar protective qualities. And then there are the warnings, the whispers of caution that speak of avoiding eye contact, of never speaking a skinwalker's name aloud, of never traveling alone in the depths of the night. These measures may seem like superstition, relics of a bygone era. But in the face of the unknown, they offer a sense of agency, a tangible way to interact with the unseen and to reassert a semblance of control in a world suddenly teetering on the brink of chaos. The legend of the Skinwalker, whether rooted in ancient folklore, interdimensional travel, or the unintended consequences of scientific hubris, forces us to confront a fundamental question. What lies beyond the veil of our perception? For centuries, science has sought to demystify the world, to explain the unknown through the lens of logic and empirical evidence. But what if there are realms of existence that defy our current understanding? Realms where the laws of physics as we know them break down, and the very nature of reality becomes fluid and uncertain? The Skinwalker, with its ability to shift shape, to defy time and space, to mimic the voices of loved ones, challenges us to expand our understanding of what is possible. It forces us to acknowledge that the universe is far stranger, far more wondrous and perhaps far more terrifying than we could ever imagine. The Skinwalker legend, regardless of its origins, serves as a stark reminder of the vastness of the unknown, of the limits of human understanding, and of the humbling realization that we are but one small part of a much larger, interconnected web of existence. As you stand on the precipice of this newfound awareness, the desert wind whispering secrets through the canyons, the stars burning with ancient fire, you carry with you not only the chilling tales of the Skinwalker, but also a profound sense of wonder. The world, once seemingly mundane and predictable, now shimmers with hidden depths, with the potential for both unimaginable beauty and unspeakable terror. The legend of the Skinwalker, passed down through generations, has found its way into your heart, a seed of unease that will forever alter your perception of the world around you. You will never look at the shadows in quite the same way, never dismiss the whispers of the wind as mere fancy. The Skinwalker, a creature of duality, embodies both the darkness that lurks at the edges of our understanding and the boundless potential of the universe itself. It is a reminder that some mysteries are best left unexplored, that some doors are best left unopened. And yet it is also a testament to the enduring power of story, of our innate need to make sense of the world around us, and of the enduring fascination with the unknown that lies at the heart of the human experience. The desert night stretches out before you, a tapestry woven from shadow and starlight, and somewhere out there in the darkness the legend endures.